So it was awesome practice today. Awesome scrimmage. We ran a ton of plays. We ran 126 plays, so might have broke a record, but that's all good. Games are 3 hours long, so it was good acclimation for us in general.
Were all those live called plays, nothing scripted?
Yeah, nothing was scripted today. Yeah, everything was called.
Kellen, what was your main goal and what you wanted to get out of this scrimmage today?
Yeah, I think one of the big objectives is to take the script component out of it and all the scripting and make you handle the situation each and every moment. It's all call it, so there's no prep work as far as players. They don't know what plays they're going to be in for. They got to be prepared for all of it. So that was a big part of it. The endurance. We went for 2.5 hours and 126 plays. So we're going to try and maximize as many reps as we could. And I think part of that was just the training of a game. Games are going to be 3 hours plus on Sundays, and at some point you got to get used to that a little bit. And so obviously this was kind of our big day going into this. We'll address kind of the next week as we go, and then we'll ramp up towards the Chargers.
Was that 126 in that first drive?
Yeah, Tyler did an excellent job. Yeah, and I thought in general it's a really good example of the length of a game. There's highs, there's lows. There's really good start. I thought the offense came out and played really well to start it. Defense responded really, really well. Defense did an excellent job in the 2 minutes at the end of the game. We snuck in some live live tackling towards the end with the threes, and so we got a ton of situations in today.
Does that 120, forgive my pedanticism, but does the 126 include things like punts, field goals, penalties, things like that?
I think it was just offensive plays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that indicative of how better?
It's just the way the rotation worked today. Yeah, obviously, try to get those guys all different opportunities, different exposures, and so felt like all three of them had highs, had lows, which is kind of what you'd expect in these situations.
You purposely mixed up the first team, second team, switching up like it was first team offense against second team defense.
Yeah.
How does that evaluation go when you're going out to see how each unit performs?
Yeah, for the most part, it's ones versus ones, twos versus twos, threes versus threes. There are a couple times where we want to go ones versus twos and twos versus ones, just to see how people respond. Put the two groups in situations where they're going against the first group, see how they respond. Does anyone kind of stand out in that certain situation? And so I thought it was good training for everyone.
So what is the thinking behind having the threes tackled? Is it preservation of the
yeah, just something's kind of fun towards the end. Get the third group ready to roll. Get in a tackling setting. Obviously, self-explanatory. Alvin and CO and she, those guys aren't going to be a part of that, and they'll get ready in a different fashion.
But is there also an element to you probably got a lot of the less experienced players, and you want them to get exposed to that?
A little bit. I mean, it's going to be tackle in a week basically, and so a little bit of exposure there just to get a feel for it, and that'll be a big part of what preseason football is the tackling component is obviously something you can't fully replicate in these scrimmages or in these practices throughout training camp. So if we can steal a little bit of it with that group, we felt like it was an added bonus.
For the purpose of today, when you're calling plays, are you calling to try to give the quarterback the best chance for success, or are you calling plays sometimes to challenge the quarterback? Like, what is sort of your mindset calling?
No, I'm calling it for these guys to be successful. That's my whole goal. That should always be my goal when I'm calling these plays. We did throw it a lot more probably than we normally would in a game setting. Just put these guys through more reps and more opportunities. So certainly, if there's 126 plays, I don't know, I broke a record for passes, but that was part of it. We wanted to get these guys many different reps.
Do you feel like the quarterbacks are progressing on the ideal schedule that you would want them to be on right now?
Yeah, they're doing a great job. Yeah.
Was the rotation of quarterbacks pre-planned, or was that something you kind of did in the moment?
Mostly it was all pre-planned. There's a few, just little tweaks based off the reps, but pretty much pre-planned, road-mapped, and Scotty did a good job with that.
See, quarterbacks might be a little more in the call. There's not as much maybe thinking about it.
Yeah, I love call-it situations. We go through the install process early in training camp. You kind of have to script to make sure you get things repped, get experience with certain concepts or plays, and we do that on both sides of the ball. But as this thing progresses, we get more and more into these call-its because ultimately that's how this game's played. I do think it takes the thinking out of it, some of the over-analyzing out of it. You get a play call, and within about 15 seconds, you're executing that play on the field, and just whatever happens on that one, you go to the next one, and you just keep on moving.
Do you think Tyler took a step forward today?
Yeah, I thought Tyler did an excellent job. We had a little turnover there towards the end, but we get to learn from that. Like we said, there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows. Thought that first drive was excellent. I thought him and Spence both came out and just did a really, really good job. Just moved the ball really well, got us in position. We got a field goal and a touchdown out of each of those, and so we just got to sustain it.
I know you probably have to look at it, but on that interception near the end, just get it out faster. What's kind of
I'll have to take a look at it. I didn't see the protection aspect of it or the pocket. I was kind of looking on the back end. So, I do believe that one was a fourth down potentially. So we'll see how that went.
Does the defense responded?
Yeah.
Toward the end of the practice or in the second half of the practice, what did you like about maybe how opportunistic they were with turnovers?
Yeah, defense did an excellent job. I think that's a really cool teaching moment for us. Is no matter how the game starts, we certainly want to start fast, but it's how you respond, and you got to sustain things for 3+ hours on Sundays. And so our guys got some training of that. I thought our defense responded really well. You can see the leadership pop up. You can see the vets who kind of rally the group. This is players run this thing. That's just how it operates. And when they push the tempo and they get this thing going, special things can happen.
There's a lot of talk out of Davis Jones so far. Anything new today? What have you seen out of him?
Just doing a really good job. Obviously, the transition to running back, going to become formerly a receiver, and I think a lot of it, you see the burst, you see the explosive plays, which is awesome, and now you just see the detail start getting better, the protection game start getting better. That's the big part that he's got to grow in.
So you say unscripted. Obviously, the offense and defense didn't know what was coming, but did you talk with your quarterbacks and simulate sort of like a first 15 play kind of?
No, not necessarily on this one. No, we just wanted them to just play ball. That'll be really the remainder of preseason. We'll obviously roadmap those games pretty good, but this was just purely call it and react.
Did you get a good look at Kool-Aid and Kingston's interception and just comment on his day?
Yeah. Again, Kool-Aid is starting to become a little bit of a broken record. He's doing a phenomenal job. And this is what we expect out of him. And this is what we look forward to with second year, big leap. He's just doing a really good job, taking great command. He's got great vision. He has ability to pattern match and take chances, but he can recover. When he gets aggressive, and I think that's the beauty of how he's playing right now.
This may be dumb, but when you guys script stuff,
I'll be prepared.
when you guys script stuff, does the offense know what play the defense is running when, in normal scripted situations?
No. That's not the intent of the play. I won't say it's, your goal is really just get the offense, defense. They usually know what plays they're going into, what the defense is or the offense is, vice versa. They don't, and so, but they know only sometimes, times it's like you can focus on those 4 plays that I got in that team period versus, okay, it's really a 16-play period, but I'm only focused on 4. These guys got to be ready to roll for anything.
Is Juwan still working his way back a little bit?
Yeah.
It seemed like he was.
He was limited as far as his reps, and so we were just kind of smart there, controlled it. He's ramping back up.
Can I ask you a couple practices ago about just kind of get back in the rhythm of play calling? Or where do you feel like you're at in that play calling? Actually, where do you feel like Brandon's at in his play?
Yeah, that's the beauty of all this call it, and that's why we want to put so much emphasis in it moving forward. Is really it's training us as well, training us how to handle situations and circumstances that come up in games. Scripting, every play for practices is fun, and it allows us to have a teaching progression, but ultimately we got to get ready to play games. And so, for me, this has been great. It's been great for me. You're going to make, a handful of calls. Certainly when you do 126, you're going to have a bunch of them that you're like, I should have done this, should have done that. But it creates some rhythm for you.
I was going to say, out of those 126, how many were you like, whatever, call that? How many of those?
Those happen. I mean, you got 5 or 10 seconds, you got to make a decision, go. And it's great training for all of us.
2 weeks ago, did you know you were going to have this emphasis on live play calling, or is this something that as training camp has gone on, you've sort of evolved and said we need more of that?
No, this is our plan all along. We were kind of getting to the end of the installation process. This was kind of our big moment. They were basically collecting everything that we've installed, and we're just playing ball today. And now we start moving into a little bit more of a focus heading into the preseason games and heading into, okay, we kind of get a feel for our players, we kind of get a feel for the scheme, and now how do we need to focus and address certain things.
What have you seen out of Michael Jacobson today?
Just continue to make plays. He does a great job. Pass game, he's done a really nice job. I think you can see the run games coming along. Just the physicality of that. But he's a huge target, huge advantage for him. QBs can see him. He can make great catch radius catches, and so he's taking advantage of opportunities.
Kellen, what have you liked out of Stutzman so far, James Stutzman?
Yeah, Danny. He's just doing a really, really good job. I think, rookie, you can see leaps and bounds. I think you can see his communication. He does a really good job communicating at a really high level over there. You can hear him on the field, which is a good thing when you're the middle linebacker. I love hearing those guys. And he's just running. He plays a really fast, aggressive style. He's running to the football. The more times you're near the football, the luckier you get, so to speak. And he's one of those guys.
How important, or how valuable is it to see him? You guys have mixed and matched him with the ones a little too,
Yeah, we're always trying to give these guys different exposures, and so he'll hop in there on occasion with the ones. Double D, obviously we're building him up in a certain way to get ready for the regular season, and so sometimes he's able to steal some more reps because of that.
What would you say is kind of the percentage of your install that you've gotten done through this point?
we've gotten really the foundation put into place. And so now it's tweaks, adjustments, and then we start focusing in on, okay, what do we ultimately want to look like moving forward? And so, they really have the lay of the land, all the basics, and that's kind of the goal of the installation process, that, we can apply all these different schemes and techniques and tools throughout the season, and, now it's about application and tweaks.
How drastic can things change in that what do we want to look like portion of what's moving forward?
Yeah, it'll change all the time. Every week's different. Every week's a completely different game plan, and that's the beauty of football. Every week is a challenge. It's a whole new world. You got to defeat an opponent in some capacity, and whatever it takes, you're going to utilize every single player you possibly can.
How much fun was this for you today?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. It just gets you back in the groove of a game. The drainingness of calling play after play after play after play, and then handling just the situations and all the circumstances that went into it. I thought we did an excellent job. I thought our guys were really organized. I felt like it operated really, really well. Our guys practiced really hard, and it was just a clean practice.
I feel like you came away healthy for the most part as well.
Yeah. We know the length of a practice like this. There's going to be a few things that pop up, but I think for the most part we're in a good place.
And was Will's Claps thing just like a heat thing?
No, he just got kind of rolled up, and so any of those guys, if any of them have anything long term, I'll let you know tomorrow.
Yeah, the first is cover zero. And they're on blitzing.
Yep.
Are y'all teaching them where the receiver has to see, just like the quarterback can sight adjust the route? Because I noticed maybe a couple of times the quarterback was even aware of that. It was out on blitz and the ball wasn't coming out. Do the receivers sight adjust?
We have a couple tools. We do have sight adjust capabilities within the system. We do have built in, and then we have play call adjustments. And so we kind of make sure we expose ourselves to all three different tools, because you're going to need different tools throughout the season based off the opponent you're playing. But it's great training for our guys. The more pressure looks they get, that's the beauty of what we get in training camp. Because of Brandon, we're going to get a lot of different looks, a lot of different structures, force our guys to think, and a lot of times because of that, come fall, really you get simpler looks a lot of times once we get to the real thing.
As a play caller, what is it like playing against their defense?
Yeah, Brandon does an awesome job. Just the versatility of this defense. He does a great job of continuing to apply pressure, give you different fronts, give you different looks, force the offense to think and drain themselves mentally. And so that's a huge advantage for us.